Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We are back from break. Previously, our intrepid band of adventurers on the 6th floor of the dungeon, the Lost Levels, finished exploring the place, finding a series of bed chambers, a pit trap. They found the way further down into the dungeon of the Mad Mage. They also found a delightful little shower and sauna room powered by a fire elemental and a hidden chamber to a possibly dark god. Who knows? But within that chamber, they discovered some amber or honey-colored gemstones, and Ezrah was pretty sure that they were tainted with evil. So before feeding any of them to moss-covered rock or stream, Bones decided that it would behoove the party to meet with the darkest rain shadow and see if anything could be surmised. So, the party has traversed through the 6th level of the dungeon and made it to where moss-covered rock near stream has said the darkest rain shadow resides. Back at that huge carving in the angular wall, right, of the giant Zorn being fed by dwarves. So, as you arrive, right, what do you do?
Is he there?
You do not see him.
Okay. I look around. I say, darkest rain shadow? You around here?
Tap it out and Morris on the floor.
The carving of the giant Zorn colors brightly, and you realize the darkest rain shadow has placed himself as part of the carving.
Okay, well that was really cool. So, kudos to you. Alright, anyway. Glad
Bones
to see
is
you
just
made it.
standing there, just going.
I mean, I understand him. It seems normal to me.
This is not normal. This is not normal at all.
Nothing about this is normal.
Anyway, hey, you knew about the sapphires, so I wanted to see if you knew anything about these rings, like if they're evil, or if, you guys can eat some of them. And I hold one out to the fucking wall. I don't know.
The carving kind of like rises a bit, like becoming textured, and a portion of the eye, right? The eye is almost as big as your head, right? Of the darkest rain shadow, like blinks at you. And you hear this grumbling sound emanate from partially from the darkest rain shadow's like side and partially from the wall, and it says, and it sounds distinctly slow and kind of sleepy, right? It says, "Oh, come, bringer of the old way, but with question, not tribute."
Uh-oh. Where's the tribute?
Damn it, fine. You bleed me dry, Jeremy.
I'm not doing anything.
You
You're the one
this.
making these connections.
You signed up for this.
Whatever. I pull out a fist-sized emerald.
You just hold it out.
Yeah.
Purity and light. remember taverns of my youth, the mice in it dancing. I remember lush greenery, like this emerald, is a fine tribute.
Kobe.
You reach out a claw or
Nope,
expose
does-
his weird mouth.
He's kind of got like a little bit of a lip line up on the wall that you could like toss
Alright.
into.
I toss it up.
Toss it up. And you can see it kind of like the lip line kind of like pushes out just to make sure that there's enough room to like catch. And you hear it kind of like tink 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 tink.
He's on fire.
And then you hear this. And you see this kind of like cloud of emerald dust come up out of it. You seek knowledge. Speak once more.
You identified the Tainted Sapphire before. We have a question about these gems. Are they also tainted or okay for you guys to eat?
You hold one up.
Yes, I do.
He looks at it like his big eye just kind of like, almost kind of like the eye of Sauron, right? Like they're kind of like yellowish orange colored with like a vertical pupil, right? So a vertical slit. And he just kind of like stares at it for a long moment, and he says, "The friendship crystals are known to me. This gem, it is natural, but has a residue, something sick, something robust, powerful, but hungry."
Well, that's very
Greedy.
concerning.
We could eat of this gem, but there could be effects.
Oh, good. Effects.
My kind are susceptible, most susceptible, when they are young. And the eye just like stares down at Moss.
Mm-hmm. 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 So you're saying if like you tested one, you would be able to tell, or
If I devoured said stone, it might have an effect upon me, or it might not. But that does not mean that it would not affect your friend.
yeah, okay.
I am older, far more resilient. I have been gliding through stones so long that my body is set. Wait.
Even Momar thinks that my mind is.
Okay then. Well, very helpful.
As with most things of this world, there is good and bad in what you hold.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that tracks. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate your insight. I want to let you know I'm bringing my tribe very soon. We're going to get them right now. So, enjoy that.
It will be good to hear the echo of footfalls upon the halls once more.
Agreed. Yes. Love what you've done with the mural. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I kind of like closes lazily, and it kind of has this look like he's kind of nodding off.
All right. Well, I put the rings in my bag then, and out of my bag I get a garnet, and I give it to Moss. So here you go. I promised you something.
Kind of like he looks glum for a second, and he says, "Not hungry. Keep for later."
You want me to keep it for later?
I can.
Okay.
He's
I'll
still
give it to
sad.
him. I understand. I just, we gotta be safe about things.
He's like a glum kid, right? Like,
I don't like being safe.
I want to eat 17 pounds of candy.
I want
and then
golden
throw up
rings.
from it.
I want 18 pounds of candy and mint milk. Okay, cool. All right, well,
Okay.
I guess
Gotcha.
let's leave.
All right. You guys, where are you heading? You're heading up to the Willowwood? All right. It is
Willowwood.
a hop, skip, and a jump. You head eastward, then north.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Mossy know we're going to take a portal. I will be back here soon
Oh.
with friends. Will you wait here for them?
Moss will nod, right? He is still not comfortable enough to tempt a portal. So knowing that is where you are going, he will just wait here.
That's fine. I need him here anyway.
Yep. All right. You guys head up through the rough-hewn tunnel created by the Umber Hulks towards the Willowwood. Takes you a little ways to get up there. That will track situations up to 4. And then upon reaching the Willowwood, you guys are just heading straight to Willow's Tower, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
there's-
think
I
we
don't
have
think there's
anything
any
else.
Because we need her blessing to be protected.
Take the
right?
portal. Yeah.
In the broad daylight of the Willowwood, you can see the tower in the distance now. So there is 0 difficulty in navigating your way there along the edge of the wood itself. You arrive at Willow's Tower some few minutes after arriving on the level. You find your way not barred. The vines that cover the thick doors open freely enough. And you very shortly find yourself greeted by Halaster, and an audience with Willow and her Displacer Beast companion. Is this just like a quick pit stop of, hey Willow, can we have your blessing? We want to use a portal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It is.
Then no need. Willow is taciturn in her responses to you. She is you can see you have accomplished something to end up in her good graces, but it is unlikely that you will remain in her good graces indefinitely, right? Is the impression that you kind of get, right?
Yeah.
It's this kind of scenario of like you have reawoken some sort of like social thing within her that it seems like Halaster is kind of like taking advantage of, honestly. But you can also see she's kind of an isolationist, so she kind of like sometimes when she's conversing with you, she has this kind of like, okay, this is all right kind of reaction. But then other times she's just like, oh god, why am I inviting this back into my life? I don't want this. why are you here, right? Type of thing. So it's this very like kind of interaction, but she grants you her blessing. You make your way out of the tower, east through the wood to the ruins. I'm assuming you're heading back through the dead branch portal.
What portal?
Wood portal.
What portal?
Make your way into the ruins there. Find the portal as is in the room with the dead halfling, I believe. The battered and broken furniture, which makes it very easy to activate the portal. The portal activates. Silvery gates. And you pass through.
We go.
You feel that familiar feeling, that tingling, the arcane encompassing you. You find yourself once more in that realm. And once more you find yourselves held. Not progressing forward, not streaming through the tunnel of arcane energies. And you hear that familiar voice in all of your minds. That kind of quiet, cautious, feminine voice. It says, "You come and go as you please now. This is good.
Ish.
I see. The blessing of one more powerful clings to you. You seek to protect yourselves.
We've been bit before by the shadow, and it hasn't always been great.
We'll have difficulty finding many such allies in the mountain."
Oh boy.
I feel like I can kind of assume that, though.
As you delve deeper, you move further from the more civilized, closer to those fed by raw power. You will meet the Seven soon.
Oh boy.
7? Who's the 7? Do we know that?
The apprentices of Halaster.
Okay.
Not good people.
Voice
Not good
says,
news.
But are they bad people?
"You
Yes.
should be on your guard. Be wary. Remember, this is a strange place. Things are not always as they seem here."
You mean here in the portal to the shadow or just Undermountain in general? That was
All
kind of
around you, young sorcerer.
I prefer pointed statements, but thank you for the advice.
You should be cautious. She will be interested in.
Oh boy. She?
I looked over and Jay's just doing this. The mistress of change, shaper of form. Be wary her charms, sorcerer. She will seek to snare you.
Oh boy.
Just tell her no. It's fine.
No means no.
Sure it does.
If you wish, travel pathways more safely. You will have to seek powerful blessings. You want them to last. They will need to be far more powerful than what is represented here.
So Willow's a bitch. Got it.
I
No,
don't want to
She's just on the 5th
overstep
floor,
my
not the
bounds, but
17th.
would you be able to provide blessings?
Not. Not yet.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
The voice is... It's calmer than it has been in most of your conversation. It seems more comfortable than it has been. It says, your progress is good. Better than many before you. Do not become overconfident. That has led to the demise of many.
After the Aboleth
not-
fight.
But do not let caution hinder you. You cannot progress forward by looking back.
Ezra kind of looks behind him.
No more trips to the
That
circus.
happens, right? As that happens, the
Just
magical
instinctively.
force holding everyone releases, and Matashtai bones and ashes start moving forward, and Ezra's looking back, not moving forward, and then looks forward and is like, "Oh shit!" And everyone else is like 20 feet ahead of him, and he starts moving forward at that point, dragged along by the arcane energy. Some like little residual hold on Ezra as kind of like a "ha, told you so" type scenario. And once again, you find that Willow's blessing does not make you invisible to the shadow. The shadow sees you, the shadow chases. You see the shapes merging, clawing along the outer edge of this tunnel of magical energy, before eventually lashing out at...
It doesn't have to, Jeremy.
It's always Ezra.
Um,
Don't even need to roll. It's Ezra.
that is Matashtai.
Hey! Oh wait, no, we don't want that because he's the
Uh-oh.
more complicated one.
So,
I'm more or less under the impression that I can travel these tunnels with impunity at this point.
Matashtai, yeah, like Bones has only ever gotten it, I think, once, and it was a boon at that point, I think.
No,
I have
Bones has gotten it wrong.
I don't think I've ever gotten it.
You don't think you've ever gotten it? Ah.
No, Ash has got
Matashtai.
the advantage one or whatever.
Ah, gotcha. Matashtai,
Bones has been touched.
please roll me a 1d100.
Roll low.
No, you don't want to roll low. You want to roll high.
83.
83.
The shadowy hands coil around you, and you feel that residual energy from Willow well up out of your being and push the shadow back.
Bushy beak, yeah.
Bushy big knee.
Big to the shitters.
And after a few more moments, you all find yourself thrown from the portal onto
Big you monster.
an empty outpost on the second
anymore.
level of the dungeon, the arcane chambers. A place where once owlbears nested.
It's
I-
Sydney.
You guys are just heading down to the Sargoth
Yeah,
level when the Skull Takers
Yeah,
are.
we're just getting back to the boys.
Okay.
Back to the
Easy
boys.
enough situation.
Big to the boys.
Did you get so close to me?
That's a good one. That sticks. I love that one. Edge, so close to me. Okay. All right.
Did you actually see that one?
Huh?
Did you see that?
What?
Did you get so close to me?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a thing. I just know it from you and Jordan.
Yeah, it's from Damo and something.
Nope. No idea. All right. It is relatively quick that you guys make your way back. Situation trackers ticks up as you travel from one level of the dungeon to the next, and you are now back in the temple complex, surrounded by the Skull Takers. Pibble and Groin, right? As you guys stroll in, the tribe is hard at work packaging stuff up. You can see Salt and Pepper's little like individual kind of like the shrine tent and the arcanum tent, right, are being like collapsed and packaged up and everything like that. And Pibble and Groin kind of like swagger on over, right? You know, and they're like, "Oi, boss, you back already? What happened? Did you get 2 days? 2 days?
Yeah, it didn't take as long as we thought.
Ah, so easy trip."
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah, we're just gonna hang out with y'all till you're ready.
Oh, well, I mean,
Sleep. We're gonna take a sleep tonight. You know.
we don't
Well,
have
we
that
ain't fucked
much,
up.
so we can be
Yeah,
done tonight.
I need to sleep off the trip, and so does Ezra.
Okay.
So,
We leave in the morning.
yeah, morning seems fine.
Gonna
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
party.
Yeah.
So
What do you
Salt,
mean?
Yeah.
Salt has you'll find Salt has taken some of the rations given to them by the Legion, which included some basically like beer, but this is more like medieval beer, so it's like kind of thick and has stuff in it. It's meant for nutrition, but Salt has made it more alcoholic, and the goblins are getting just blitzed off of
goblin.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
I'm
also
down for that.
slightly hallucinogenic, so
Yeah, I'm down for that. Hey, I also want to find Baldrin before people start hallucinating.
oh sure, yeah.
Hey, how'd you guys get up here? There's a waterfall.
Balrin looks at you and says,
Yes, I said I said Baldrin. I don't know his name.
you're fine.
Balrin.
You're fine. I was just like, my brain wasn't like clicking on who you were talking to. I was like, what do you mean get up here? And I was like, oh, right. So Balrin will look at you and says, there was a portal that the matron mother sent us through initially.
Okay, that tracks. And it
You guys
spits
aren't the
you out.
only things in the dungeon that will use portals.
Well, that's really concerning. And that spits you out where?
Let me double check.
The 6th floor, I think.
No, I have to, because there's a shit ton of portals, so I have to,
Yeah,
I have to verify.
Let's repurpose the guillotine technology.
Right. Okay,
Oh,
so
oh,
this
that
would
one.
have been from this one. Okay, so let me cross-reference. I actually have a portal sheet because okay, throw this out there to WotC in the future. If you're gonna have a dungeon with like 50 portals in it, right? Have a singular like chapter that just gives all of the portals and their connections so that it's easily referenced, so that people don't have to make their own portal chart.
That'd probably be nice.
Just,
Yeah.
just throwing that out there. All right, so this one is this one.
What are you giggling about?
Balrin will look at you and he will say, "Oh, it spat us out on the first level,
Hmm.
just under the city. We came down this way."
Wow, matron mother. So real deep. What? Was she 15? You 15, 16? What level? What level did you start on?
So he kind of like he's not hedging with you or anything like that, but you can see he kind of like,
You don't really know.
well, like, again, that kind of concept of like, most of the creatures down here don't think of the levels in terms of levels, right? This is like, the place that I'm on is where I live, right? Like, this is
Before or
floor
after?
this is floor 1 to me, right?
Is it before or after Octoria Doom?
He says,
Isn't that where Ezra's going? I've heard that name, right?
the mage school is above us.
The mage school is above us. That's Octoria Doom? Or is that some other horse shit?
You're asking me or the DM?
I'm asking you.
Okay. By you mean Ezra?
I'm asking Jacob Ezra.
Okay.
Dwemercore. Dwemercore is the other one.
We do not have a beat on the specific floor of Dwemercore. Arcturia Doom is somewhere between 13 and 15, though.
Okay, so, and he said it was before Dwemercore?
No, he said Dwemercore, the mage's school, is above them, directly above them. So that would mean that they are beyond, they are lower than the
something lower than that connects to 1. That's a real concerning. Okay, well, interesting. All right, well, good.
Mirror, I wonder.
Good intel. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
The mirror, I think, is the only portal we have from first level.
All right then.
That we found. There's clearly things we missed on first floor. So.
I guess let's hallucinate a bunch of shit.
Or not.
Let's hallucinate a bunch of shit. I do want to point this out. I forgot to mention this to you the last time, so I mention it now. But you notice, now that you're here, you spend a little bit of time amongst them, you talk amongst them. These Skull Takers are better outfitted than prior to their training with the Legion. You can see that many of them are wearing studded leather armors with additional weaponry. The cavalry, the Marchesa, Blicky, Glizzy, and Heat, are all in barding. And Blarg, I believe,
is the OG. Yeah, the OG
is actually marching around in kind of like this dark red splint armor that you realize you've seen some of the Legion captains in.
Wow.
Fancy.
They are chaotic and crazy and really a bit of a mess. But they actually do seem somewhat imposing.
Damn sick.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
I'd like to find Risk if he's around. Just hang with him for a bit.
He's right there. He's next to the drow.
I mean, if we've got free time.
I didn't realize we were actually on the map looking at them. I've just been staring at a black screen for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we've got some downtime, Ashes would actually come up to you, Matashtai. Hey, I've been meaning to ask you about something. You're like you do all the monk stuff and whatever. How how do you meditate?
You hear in your mind, Matashtai, you hear, oh, this sweet boy.
Well, I mean, there's lots of different types of meditation. What are you trying to do?
Well, one day I was at the Temple of the Moon, and they let us use a room to, like, like meditate and maybe commune with Salune. And I mean, it was fine. Nothing really happened, but I was just wondering, like, someone who's more familiar with maybe doing that kind of like state of mind thing, maybe I could get some like pointers.
Yeah, I think we could, try it. It might not be for you. Some people it doesn't really take for. But we can try it.
Okay.
So then, you want to do it now, or are you looking to party with everybody?
I mean, we don't have to, like, we can hang out. I just wanted to at least break the ice on the subject.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll give it some practice here on some of our rests we take.
All right, cool. I appreciate that.
And then I
Matashtai
kind
is
of like
gonna
go into like it.
Train Ashes to meditate.
Well, and then I just kind of go into like describing some of the different types of meditation, like empty thought or like rising sun, stuff like the different ways.
Hey, what about
to
the one where
meditate.
the water drips on you? Tell him about that one.
I don't know who this Australian cat is, but I'd like him to leave.
It's Drunk Bones.
Drug bounds.
Oh,
drug
no.
bounds.
Oh no!
I love it. I love it. When Bones drinks, he becomes a lizard boy.
It's right.
In the other campaign, that was Bones. He just didn't realize that he was just as a lizard. He like put on a costume as a joke for Halloween, and then just like forgot he had it on.
It had the costume had sovereign glue in it.
Nice. Okay, so if there is nothing else, right? The Skull Takers make a big show of packing up their belongings, but really they don't have all that much, right? They got a fair amount of food, some of which they have caught or harvested for themselves. They have rations and stuff like that that they've acquired from the Legion. They have the beginnings of like a shanty town being created. So they kind of like tear down and pack up what is feasible for transportation there. Not everything is. And then they eat and they drink and they play weird, wild games that don't make a lot of sense. A lot of hitting is involved, and a lot of chasing around things is involved. It's kind of like watching kids play on a playground, really.
It's a bunch of made-up games.
There's a lot of, like, you can tell, there's specifically a moment where Catsup is trying to get the rest of the cavalry squad to play something that he is clearly making up on the spot. And but they all like love it. They all go with it every single time. Like even the refugees get involved, though they are somewhat more withdrawn and more hesitant, right? But there just seems to be something about the goblin nature that is just like, this raucous event is just a respected. It's the time to let loose, right? Risk and Balrin don't participate per se. They both do drink of the hallucinogenic goblin ale, but neither one of them gets like crazy involved in the games or anything like that. Though they're not standoffish about it. Anything for your before we actually like transfer into long rest period?
Ezra would find the spellcastery goblin.
Peppa.
Yeah, that one. And see how things are going. If there is any questions or...
So Peppa, when you guys got here, Peppa and Salt were kind of like breaking down their respective tents, which is, like I said, kind of like the shrine area for Salt and then the Arcanum for Peppa. It's really just like a tent, quote unquote tent. It's like almost a teepee with kind of like a purplish, blackish like canvas thrown over it. And there's a kind of roundish crystal that Peppa has on a pedestal that is Peppa's crystal ball. It's not a ball. It's
A yo-yo ball.
it's questionable at best. It looks like just a roundish piece of quartz that's maybe been tumbled a little bit.
Based on my experience with wizard schools and arcane focuses, does it meet those parameters on a cursory glance?
It could potentially be used as a focus, but to your understanding, Peppa uses the black velvet mask that was given to him as his arcane focus. He always has it on.
Gotcha.
You do find a new addition, though, as you're having this conversation, something that was overlooked by the rest of you because of the size of the creature. But as you are having a conversation with Peppa, you see coming out of one sleeve, climbing up the side, across the soldier's shoulders, and then down into another sleeve, you see a kind of violet-colored crab.
A violet-colored crab.
Damn, bro,
He has a familiar.
It seems like it.
That's fucking baller. Goddamn Zach. Fucking always a dwarf. Always has to have something with crabs.
Look, I didn't request that, but I know what I'm about.
So does Jeremy, apparently.
But this was Peppa.
Cool.
Peppa wanted a crab.
Peppa likes crabs.
Ezra would just spend some time with him, being a mentor type.
Yeah, he talks excitedly about his experience with the Drow Demon Summoning Circle and how he's worked on it a little bit, and how he's pretty sure he can summon lesser demons now.
Like, dude.
He's super excited. He's just... He tells you he's been working... He's not sure about the whole controlling them side of things, but he's been working on that. He thinks he has an idea.
Peppa.
Uh-huh.
You have a new friend, I see, right?
Uh-huh.
You do that spell,
Uh-huh.
it dies.
Oh, no. That... Look. I'm gonna make a circle. And I'm gonna stand in the circle, and I'll be fine.
Peppa.
Uh-huh.
And at this point, I realize I'm not gonna persuade this creature, but I'm gonna attempt.
Oh yeah, the tricks. Stand in a circle.
Convince him.
Yeah.
That kind of magic is going to sap the life force out of his familiar. Just in
You're trying to fib him into it.
I'm trying to
Okay. Roll me a deception check. Peppa seems
cool.
legitimately concerned, and is just like,
Don't do it. It's bad.
Okay. I'll have to do some research, and if I can't get past it, then I'll just have to work on something else.
But
I come over. What if you give the
Before you-
crab his own circle?
but before you do
Maybe.
it,
Maybe.
Ezra just glares at Bones like deadpans. Like, are you fucking serious? I'm trying to protect your group, and you're over
The
here. like,
drunk
"Nah,
ass
fuck
cat
'em."
just walked across the countertop and just went woof and knocked
They-
something
they-
off the countertop.
They can take a Yaklau, you know, it's fine. All right, whatever. I'm not gonna help your plan if you're gonna let them fucking summon demons they can't control.
I
He can
love
hold the whole
this.
corner by himself.
I
He
have
summons
to-
the demon and just stands in his circle, and the crab stands in his circle, and they just stand there. And the demon goes,
Ezra told him that summoning demons would sap the life force from Corn. His crab's name is Corn, by the way.
I like it.
Hey.
And if you think you worked it out, can we talk? Can before you try it?
Oh yeah, sure. As long as there's not an emergency, you know, like an emergency where I need to summon demons.
Can we take a moment and write down what that qualifier is?
Imminent death.
Of?
Me or Corn, or I guess Pibble or Goin or Salt. I guess any member of the tribe, really. So, like, if someone in the tribe's gonna die and I can save a demon and be like, get him, demon, then, you know, I'll probably do that. But otherwise, I won't do it.
No.
Okay.
Ezra just turns
It
around and looks
doesn't
at her,
seem
shaking
like
his head.
He does seem concerned about the whole, like, summoning a demon and losing Corn, though. So, you feel like you might have
Having a point,
influenced
you don't
him
want
on that.
guy.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. That was my only thread that had any
Yeah.
substance.
Yeah.
So
You have influenced him. It's just a matter of how far that influence goes.
fucking demons. Dude, your goblins are gonna kill themselves, and it's not even gonna be a fun way.
probably not. He got the circle on his own. He'll figure it out.
We're gonna come back and there's a pit fiend where your goblins once were.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Pit fiend, and then all the goblins behind him.
who all is getting drunk?
I'll drink.
Ezra's
I'm
gonna
getting
start
rowdy,
working
bro.
on his tome.
Well,
I'm
I
not
don't
doing
think.
shit all tonight. I'm just getting rowdy.
Yeah, you're just gonna get rowdy. You're not gonna try to put some work in.
No, I have disadvantage on everything because I'm fucking exhausted.
Oh yeah, right. You are exhausted. Good point.
I'm not doing
Ezra's
shit.
but he doesn't care.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna go around the room real quick. Bones is just getting wild. I don't actually. Bones have. Do when you guys do R&R? Does Bones get like hammered or anything like that?
You know,
No.
sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. So it's not always, but it's not never. Gotcha. Well, this is one of those times where Bones is just drinking up a storm. And again, slightly hallucinogenic, but not like crazy hallucinogenic. You see a little thing, you see some stuff here or there, right? But nothing like super spoopy and nothing like crazy, whatever. It's just, it feeds into your cat-like nature. And
Yeah.
Bones is kind of the life of the party. The goblins, the skull takers, love it when you get involved in shit, right? You're just so skilled compared to a lot of what they can do. Even you know, they're significantly more skilled than your typical goblin, right? But you're just you're so talented. And they kind of fawn over you, and they challenge you to stupid shit, right? Like to
I
little
am
contests all the time. But you're so fast, and you can climb, and you're so dexterous, and it's basically the only time you ever stand a chance of losing anything is when the goblins try to get you to do anything with the the mountain goats, right? Or if they try to like rig you into challenging Blarg. And Blarg drinks, but it doesn't seem like the goblin ale has much of an effect on Blarg. So Blarg is just drinking throughout the night, but he's just kind of like, yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Sure. You know.
Right, he's always on duty. He can get super smashed.
I mean...
Does
So-
he have a belt of dwarven kind on too?
Does he?
No, he does not. He's just a thick boy. Yo, real thick boy.
Man, that'd be so cool.
Ashes, what are you doing for the evening?
I mean, I'll partake of some.
Again, sorry. Let me interject real quick. As a trying to be more cognizant and communicative about this type of stuff, doing this type of thing has impacts. Spending time with the Skull Takers and reveling with them rather than taking the time to work on your own projects or something like that increases your renown with the tribe by 1.
Hell yeah.
Now, repeatedly doing those types of things isn't going to continuously do it by 1, but this is like a big occasion and you're celebrating and you're reveling with them, so this is a boost in their admiration of you. Okay, sorry, Ashes, what were you doing?
I mean, I'm still not drinking, but I'm like hanging out, having fun. Like I'll like mess with their like the goblin games. I'll
Yeah.
like legitimately participate.
Sure, fair enough. Do you eventually do you spend the whole time reveling with them? Like, do you work on renown with the Skull Takers, or do you eventually do some potion making?
I do not have any materials to start making potions.
You could do graders, because graders just take base materials. Or regulars.
You want some mushrooms? I got some mushrooms.
He does have mushrooms.
I think if I'm gonna make a potion, I'd like to know what I'm going to end up with at the end of it.
That's
Potion
not
of
how potion
mushrooms.
making
I
works.
have,
Jay.
I have enough
Experiment.
resources. I have enough resources for 4 uncommon potions.
Okay.
And I can only brew 2 at a time.
Yep.
Nice.
For now, no. I'm not planning on crafting anything.
Okay. Gotcha.
Party
Alright.
games.
Ezra.
After I finish face palming and worrying about a demon spawning in the middle of this group that we have spent so much time with and Bones cares so much with, I cast my dome.
Make an insight check for me.
At
See,
disadvantage because,
12.
oh wow. Wow. Alright then.
Well, I'm glad I had you roll on this relatively inconsequential thing to get those double crits out of the way. In your conversations with Peppa, you who have a significantly better mastery of the arcane would have realized and understood from both an assessment of Peppa's skill level and a kind of like a realization or an interpretation of what Peppa was saying, right? Is that Peppa is talking about the spell Summon Lesser Demons. So it's unlikely that Peppa's gonna drop like a Barl Gura or something like that in the mix, per se. I don't think that does that, but
Ezra understands.
Ezra might not care,
premise,
but
but-
he would know.
based on conversation with the goblins, what they think means lesser could be greater, and
Sure.
And you think he has 4th level spell slots? That dude would be strong.
Anyways,
maybe it rolls a nat 20 on its attempt to spell it. You don't fucking know, man.
4th level spell slots.
So
is
what are you
level
doing?
7.
You're putting up the dome, and then
And I'm gonna pull out this new tome and begin efforts to decipher.
yeah. So you put up the dome. You make your situation, set out a bedroll, etc. Right, like make yourself at home, and then begin while the revelry happens. And every once in a while, like there's a knocking on the dome or shit like that, right? But for the most part,
Ignore it.
you are able to, like take a meal, go about your business, and spend some time studying.
How's it work? Can we stand on it? I'll race you to the top of the dome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's solid.
It is
Yeah.
definitely. Well, you have passage through it, so you attempt
shit.
to run on it, and you
Oh, this is bullshit.
Bones just keeps kind of like jumping into the middle of the dome.
I'm sure that's not distracting at all.
You open the book, and it's gibberish, right? This tome is filled with gibberish. There's a few short phrases or passages of lucidity here or there, but this is hundreds of pages of rambling. And some of the pages, right, it's not even, they're not even words, they're just a scribe trying to write out the sounds that Calabash was making, right? As you peruse the tome, and as you begin to try to decipher and unlock its secrets, you can do so in a number of different ways. You can use your prodigious skill in the arcane to try to review passages of lucidity for arcane language. You can try to find the patterns of ritual. You can try to interpret the tongue of magic by rolling an arcana check. Or you can do the more stately, organized, structured writing out of individual pieces of information and tracking that, cataloging it, much like a researcher or librarian would do via a history check. Or you could spend your time looking for the obscure, looking for different parts and pieces within the tome, the change of lettering or the reoccurrence of specific phrases or things like that, looking for hidden codes or that type of thing. And for that, you could do an investigation check. So you can either do Arcana, History, or Investigation once per session with the tome.
I will ask in regards to the glasses.
So in regards to the glasses, in this
inherently
case,
give
the
me-
investigation will absolutely be at advantage because of the glasses. Yes. They will help you to notice certain changes in lettering or the reoccurrence of phrases or things like that. Patterning of gibberish, etc.
Especially since I'm exhausted right now, I feel like taking
Advantage on the investigation.
Neutral roll is the safest of choices. Now, this is only me rolling on this today. I'm not locking in that I'm always rolling investigation,
No,
correct?
it's each time you can determine, I want to set my mind on the tome with this type of investigation or this type of history, and you will get potentially different results out of different types of rolls.
Yep. So I'll use the glasses, and that rolls me a 12 neutral.
The only thing you get is a headache from your exhaustion.
Already had one of those dealing with Peppa.
From your exhaustion, from the long day, from all of it, and then adding on top that you're just getting familiar with this. You spend a lot of time like, oh God, where do I even begin with this? And you decide, rather than trying to catalog it or suss out the magical, you'll just look for stuff that stands out. And you find, you keep a little notepad of stuff that stands out, and in the first 10 minutes, it's filled. And you're like, okay, this is too much. And you try to look for more specific stuff, and just end up with a mild headache for your troubles. There, like the Harper said, right? There very well could be knowledge here, but it's gonna take some effort to get something out of it.
Makes sense.
Okay. Matashtai, what are you doing for the evening? Are you just reveling, or after a bit of revelry, are you gonna break off and spend some time doing something else?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some drinks and have fun with everybody for a while. And then before bed, I'm gonna try and make a talisman.
Very cool. You set about doing that work, and you acquire a little bit of an audience here or there. I say that. Do you bed down in the dome? Is that where you're doing your work? No?
Is everybody sleeping in the dome, or is
I'm not.
I know Ezrah is, but everyone else,
Alright.
is open. So
No, I'm asleep with the skull takers.
then, as you begin to work, you do gain a fleeting audience here or there. People come and go and investigate, kind of like what you're doing. But two individuals watch you with earnest for the majority of your work. One being Risk, the other being one of the refugee goblins, a young woman by the name of Snot, who just kind of like she just perches nearby on a little box, on a little crate, and just kind of like almost kind of like a frog. She does, absolutely, yeah. She periodically kind of like. You now know the reason for her name.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yep.
But yeah, so I just kind of go to work, trying to make a talisman.
Okay. It
Which one am
is a new thing for you, but it is it is a soothing, almost natural thing for you. It's again kind of almost that concept of like meditation. You just find yourself calmed, able to create, and the tools, right? The paints and the canvas and everything that you've been given to by Ezrah, it all just seems very perfect, very natural to you. Do you want to keep what you are creating a secret, or is this going to be something that you are giving out immediately?
Yeah, I think I'd probably give it away for someone to use on the upcoming day.
Okay.
So I am going to make a which one will I make?
So you gotta choose.
Since Bones just got that opportunity, or that ring, I don't think he needs that advantage today. So I'm going to make a Shadow Clone Talisman. So,
two out of 4 people just went.
it works exactly like you would assume.
Okay, cool. Are you holding on to that, or are you giving that to someone?
I'm actually going to give it to Ezrah. I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna pin it on his robes.
Thanks. That's very nifty.
Mm-hmm. Looks really nice on you.
I don't have anything to and he starts rifling through his pockets.
Give me cookie, I'll give you cookie.
And he pulls out a steel mirror. And he hands that over.
Secretly,
It
he's
wasn't a
just
trade.
trying to get weight off of him.
In my haversack. Come on.
So basically it works like the spell mirror image. However, since it is a common talisman right now, it will only create 1 extra copy of you.
Also,
So
you have a
it
steel mirror
functions
now.
like a mirror image that has 1 copy remaining.
So it's the highest DC, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Kagebushin no Jutsu.
What is this
Yeah.
called? A shadow talisman?
Kagebushin no Jutsu Talisman.
Jack, I need you to.
I mean, that is accurate, but in a
I-
different language.
That is actually what it is. but-
Oh,
It is called
but
a.
I just call it.
Go ahead. No, it's yours.
It's just a shadow clone talisman.
Shadow clone. Not shadow clown. Shadow clone.
Now, one thing to keep in mind: my talismans right now will only last for the next day, so they're use it or lose it.
So they will. Hi, Rachel. Bye, Rachel.
Bye. Nice.
It will for the next day, is what.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
you're
cool.
good for 24 hours.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh.
So, there's a party, there's a revelry, there's a lot of packing. Like the goblins are chaotic, but they're still getting work done. It's just still happening. You rest, you bed down. Some of you black out, maybe. Many of the goblins black out, but they seem used to it.
Oh, by the way, we're getting up at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
No one bats an eyelash, right? It's
Normal
okay,
day
sure,
for me.
fine, whatever. Yeah, the goblins seem like, yeah. I mean, 5 a.m. That's like late. What's wrong with you?
what
Yeah,
time do
what's
you think the
wrong
leaves
with
has
you,
been getting
Matt? What's wrong with you?
Start walking
You come,
around with
you come to
hands.
find out that goblins, they're like cats. They only sleep for like 2 or 3 hours, but they do it like 6 times a day.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Goblins.
I would hate that life so much.
That would be pretty swell. Not gonna lie.
That'd
But
be great. Yeah. Fuck.
the morning of the 7th arrives.
Mm,
You all
ideal
gain the
life.
benefits of a long rest.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hey, I'm not exhausted.
You are no longer exhausted. Very nice. And the Skull Takers, after a night of revelry and excitement, are packed up and ready to go.
We go pile them into a boat.
Okay.
We gotta walk down first.
There
Yeah, we
is.
pile them into the boat
this
right here. Push
is-
the boat.
You guys have never really been. I mean, sometimes you are quiet, right? Sometimes you're a little sneaky. But typically, you guys have never really been like the stealth band moving through the dungeon of the Mad Mage. You are positively shadows compared to the mobile force that is the Skull Takers. There is
Yeah, that
a
tracks.
point as you are approaching the eastern Stromkolder ruins, with the extended arm of the Legion, right? Where two of these Skull Takers, Greer and Glooby, for seemingly no reason. Everyone's like loud and chattering and clomping, but they literally just start going like "Ee!" really loud. And Glooby riding on top of his
cut you off.
mountain
That's
goat,
nothing
and
speech.
Greer just like walking with his staff, and they just like look at each other and they smile and they just go "Hee!" just like for like 35 seconds, just getting louder and higher pitched, and you realize there is no moving with them. That is not like traveling with a circus, a loud ass circus.
God damn, these are my people.
These are your people.
So it is with no surprise that you arrive. Your arrival is expected as you travel through the Legion's territory, and It is a good thing that you warned Azrock, because the Legion is prepared for this upheaval, and you can actually see they have cordoned off a passageway through the eastern Stromkolder ruins for the Skull Takers to take, and there's like little posted guards, not like threatening guards, but like people to keep the goblins on the path, keep moving on the path. Right.
Dude,
I should have roped them together, like leashed them all together.
during our
Don't lose
passage
anyone.
through the territory, do I see any notable generals or people of note that are present during this effort?
Someone roll me a 1d4.
I got it.
Sure.
Since
I just need to know who's on duty.
4.
Azrock himself shows up.
Oop.
Damn, that'd be badass though.
No, it's Lacana.
It is
Yeah, fighting.
one of the captains that you have seen relatively frequently in Azrock's throne room and in various meetings with Azrock. But I think they might have been present at one of the war councils, right, for
Okay.
the battle with Terissa, but I don't think they're one of the ones that you've made a real connection with yet. This is Azanor.
Okay.
Ring a bell.
I would step aside with clear intent to broach topic with him.
Yeah, he
While-
moves off to the
while the
side,
while
giving you
the
kind of a
circus
private
is
audience.
way through. I just wanted to check. I know when we were here yesterday, Azrock said there was intent for upcoming threat. Has there been any word, any update at this point?
So he kind of like he's got a very set jaw, and you can see as he kind of speaks, it's kind of like wired in the back, like it's been broken multiple times.
Yep.
Right? And so he's kind of very stiff when he speaks to you. He's kind of like this, right? And he tells you, nothing has been affirmed. Orkana's in the field, preparing. Good battle commit. I
appreciate it.
believe the way things have been told. We will likely know in the next day or so. If you could stay in contact, might be.
That is the intent. We are working to get this lot settled, and we will be at your side.
The
Stay safe.
Legion welcomes an ally. And he kind of like gives you a
And I do it as best as I can imitate it.
Bones is definitely like the lead when it comes to your interactions with the Legion, but you all have earned reputations within the Legion as
And I
staunch
figure Bones
allies.
is a little preoccupied with his boys, so...
Yeah, it's like hurting goblins.
Yep.
Shut up.
Okay,
Stay
cool.
safe.
So you're provided not an escort per se, but there are more of the Legion members out and kind of available. Not hurting you or controlling you or anything like that, but you can see they're kind of like they're keeping an eye out to see if anything responds to this big movement, right? Like they're watching the river areas, they're watching down long tunnels, waiting to see if there's any response to the movements, the hullabaloo caused by the Soul Takers. But there doesn't seem to be anything. And eventually you guys wind your way down the damp caverns, past the cave where you were originally ambushed by the drow so long ago, and then to the kind of cliffside where you had originally planned to try to load up and do a thing.
And we
So-
load
I
up
stop.
and
I
do
tell
a thing.
as Mitch is getting the boat out. I stop and I tell
Bibbidi
everyone.
boppity.
I stop and I tell everyone. All right. When we're in the boat, everyone needs to concentrate on staying in the boat at
Right.
all times.
You immediately hear who is it? You hear Bootlick, which is one of Catsup's cavalry, right? She yells, "Yeah, stay in the boat!" And she slaps Glooby in the back of the head.
Um,
Just got slapped.
Blarg, and there's another bugbear, right?
Baralk is the new bugbear.
Blarg, Baralk, you guys are in charge of helping Ashes the most. It's a big boat.
I start rolling my shoulders.
Not
loosen
all
up.
of us are very strong. The rest of us are going to work together to, do things. But you three are very important.
You
Second
say
only
that.
to staying in the boat.
You say that, and Groin like flexes and says, "Speak for yourself."
Groin, you're also very strong. You may also participate in that crew.
Groin does not look very strong.
I let him have this one.
Fair enough. Okay.
Also, we are immediately going into Skullport Harbor. This is the only time we have to be quiet.
Even in this moment that you are talking to them, right, with all seriousness, at least half of them are carrying on secondary conversations. Even when you tell them this, half of them do not look like they're looking at you.
I point at one of them. Snot, what did I just say?
You just said snot. What did I just say?
Alright, that's technically true. Alright, let's load up. Everybody have a good time.
So you're doing the big boat, right?
Big boat.
Yeah, big boat.
Okay. Bibbidi bobbidi, out of my pockety. This big ass
XO.
boat, a 24-foot long, 8-foot wide, 6-foot deep boat
With a cabin.
with a cabin is created.
Right out of that pockety.
And actually, that is where you find out very quickly that Big Beak and the mountain goats do not do very well on the water.
Well, like,
So,
Hypnotize him,
Oz,
Ezra, hypnotize him.
Oz suggests he can blindfold Big Beak to keep Big Beak kind of calmed. But to get them out of everyone's way, they kind of suggest that you throw the beasts into the cabin, and then have all the goblins and bugbears ride up top, basically.
I allow them into the captain's cabin.
Okay.
You're very gracious, thank you.
Very gracious. All right. It is crowded as fuck, even though right, the ship can hold a maximum of 15 medium creatures comfortably. That means it can hold more uncomfortably. You guys got like 20-something goblins, but goblins are small, so they're kind of like packed in like sardines. And this is gonna be a bit of a trip. So, as you set out,
How long is
do you
our
want to
longest...
do you want to like tie some ropes around everybody to keep
Well,
everybody
okay,
in?
this was actually my idea. How long is our longest rope? Mitch or Jay?
So I've got 100 foot of magical rope, and then
Okay, and
I've
you also have a ring of swim speed. Is that correct?
I do, yes.
Is that attunement?
No.
We do have a cloak.
Yeah, but I have to use an action to put it up.
Oh yeah, you have to.
I also have 130 feet of rope. So I have 230 feet total. 100 of it is magical rope of climbing.
Okay, this is what I would like. I would like to ask to... No, I'll just wear the cloak. Ashes, let me borrow the cloak.
I gave it back to you.
Okay, I put the cloak on. I say, Matt, let me get 100 feet of rope. I tie 100 feet to whatever the most sturdy thing is, and also to myself.
there's a mast.
Okay, a mast. I tie it to the mast. And what I'm doing is I'm getting up on the top of the cabin. I'm tied off. I'm cloaked.
Oh, you're ready to
you're
dive
ready to
in and get someone who
lifeguard
falls
in.
over.
I'm on
Wow.
lifeguard duty.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Very good.
I take out the rope of climbing, and I tell it to loop through everyone's belt loops.
So when half of them go overboard, the other half also goes overboard. Gotcha. Understood.
When you say there's a mast, does that mean there's a sail?
Like if they live together,
there's a
they
sail.
die together.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a sail. There's a little square sail.
Damn.
And there's a bunch of oars,
the
too.
Goddamn gust of wind fan.
I almost did too.
I've almost bought it 5 times.
Yeah,
Uh,
but we had a current. We'll be fine.
Are there a couple of slow points on this trip?
there are some points where the lazy river is very lazy. So if you were to utilize the sail at that point, you could absolutely speed up the journey. If you so chose.
Ezra would so choose at least twice to cast Gust of Wind into the sail.
Gust
Okay.
of wind dance.
Gust of wind.
Roll me that beautiful bean footage. What's Gust of Wind do precisely? Yeah, that'll definitely help.
It's a minute of
Yeah,
controlled wind, but
yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, it's not going to make you just like a fucking motorboat or anything like that, but it'll help. Sure. Okay.
I
So,
will use that twice.
some safety measures enacted. Before we finish this, confirming your rope of climbing people together?
You guys think that's a bad idea?
How much weight can the rope of climbing lift?
Absolutely not.
Well, it's not going to be lifting. Right now, I'm just looping it. It's not going to be carrying anyone.
No, I'm saying if they all go over, can the rope of climbing pull them back up?
No. It doesn't pull anything. It just goes up and knocks itself somewhere. Then you pull yourself up.
Oh.
So like right now, I'm just telling it to like snake its way through everybody's belt loop, so we don't have to like wrangle everybody in.
I don't know about that. Maybe. Sounds like
Or-
group dexterity check at disadvantage is what it sounds
Or-
like.
Pull the rope back in.
I don't know. I don't know. If you think it's a good idea, it's probably a good idea.
Is there a railing to this boat?
Yes, absolutely. There is a railing. And I was
Okay.
gonna say there. Go
I
ahead.
tell the rope to loop through belt loops and then through the railing after each person.
How long is this rope?
100.
100 feet.
God damn.
Like 5 feet per goblin, 20-something goblins. You're stretching. You're getting like right at that like end point. Well, I say that goblins are small, so maybe not quite 5 feet. Still getting close, but I think doable. If you wanna potentially like tie off every goblin to the railing, and Braralk and Blarg, you.
Well, I don't know if
could
we want
do
to
so.
tie them because they're going to be working the boat.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, they're gonna
Oh,
be helpful.
okay, well, I will throw this out there.
We all got a row.
Yeah, there are a bunch of oars. There are 5 sets of oars.
10 oars.
Yeah, there are 10 oars. And they're not. The boat is too big, I think.
It's too big for us
Um,
to man by ourselves.
Yeah, it's 8
You
feet
can't work
wide, so
pairing.
you can't
You work
sit
pairing.
someone in the center and do a pair because it's too wide. So it's basically like
Yeah.
one person on each side. So you need 10
All right.
people. Well, I mean, you don't need 10 people. You'll just be going slower if you don't have. Be slower and have less control if you don't have 10 people. Kind of whatever. We'll let this.
We got
sit.
people. Everyone's helping.
You guys can think on this as the final preparations finish up. You all climb into this crowded ass longboat and begin to sail down the lazy Sargoth River with the intention of bringing the Skulltaker tribe to the 6th level of the dungeon and making it your own, well, their own home. We will see how this journey goes beginning of next session. Thanks for watching. Be back next week for more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Hey.
God.
Stay